in this section.
And we are set with our fifth and next to last heat of the women's 3K. Another big group, 24 once again.
We're used to that at this point. It's our final paced section. Look out for Oregon State's Ruby Broadbent to take them through in 5:04 through the first 8 laps. And, well, there's no designated end pace for our pacing sheets, but I think that should set them up for some sub-930s, perhaps. You see Broadbent from Oregon State working her way up on the outside. And there on the inside in hit number 1, that's Faustine Shabache from SMU on the front of the racing group. And then Roisin Treacy from Loyola now takes up that spot.
So our final paced group in the women's 3,000 meters, heat number 5. Again, a 5:04 through 1,600. Taking a look at the watch, that is Ruby Broadbent from Oregon State. The Beavers making the big trip to the east. And I am certain just about all these athletes, I don't know of any other big December meet after this, is going to go into that deep training well and really put in the mileage and raise the intensity before taking a couple days off, maybe around the holidays.
Yeah, and again, as we must stress again, a lot of them are coming off of that higher mileage cross-country season. Of course, many of these runners probably didn't get the chance to participate in nationals, but still keeping that base firm and solid into the first race of indoor can really give you a good confidence booster once you see that time come across the screen.
And as you mentioned, the women's cross-country distance is 6K, so the longest race indoors season, 5,000 meters. So, hey, that could seem like a walk in the park for somebody who's maybe a 6K cross, 10K track runner, as you'll see definitely on the men's side later today when we see Graham Blanks from Harvard go after some very low numbers in the 5,000.
Of course, we're looking at a number of barriers when we consider what Graham Blanks could potentially do tonight once we reach the dinner hour for that men's 5,000. Is he going to settle for the world standard? Is he going to settle for a personal best? I mean, some of these things could be mutually exclusive, but of course there's the sub-13 conversation. There's the collegiate record of 12:57.17 conversation. All of it is in play here today.
2:32 through 800 meters. So a stout pace thus far. Right on the established 1,600 meter split of 5:04.
Coming up to the kilometer, that should give us a general sense of what to expect come the finish. Again, unlike the 4 previous paced heats, we did not get a end time goal. But like we said, that possibility of sub 930 is there, given they just went through 3:09.
So in the number 2 spot, Treacy from Loyola, Illinois. And second, that's Leslie Salas from Dallas Baptist University, DBU.
Coming up from the Lone Star Conference to represent here today.
And another big trip east, the folks from Gonzaga, Ireland Robertson. She is wearing number 8, currently sitting in the number 5 position, and she is right behind Erin Cosgrove from Oregon State.
I'm surprised the teammates aren't up together. Of course, our pace setter, Ainsley Heron, or Ruby
Broadbent, right?
Again, we had a difference between Lancer timing start list and pacing sheet, but either way, the Beaver teammates, I'm surprised they're not together right now, but we'll see if that changes. Still one more lap before we reach the 1,600 split. And there we go, right on cue.
7 laps down, and now it is a 1-2 push up front for Oregon State. And we'll get what we haven't heard yet, their 1,500-meter unofficial split on the back straightaway. There they go in 4:45, so there it is at 9:30.
Very consistent pacing. Again, they only lost about a second in the last 500 meters, which is a sixth of 3K. But we'll see how that changes as they head towards 2K. Here comes the mile split, 5:03. And she steps off.
As on cue, she did step aside, leaving it up to the finishers. Erin Cosgrove right now from Oregon State in the lead.
And we specify 9:30 is a good goal, as nobody in this section has a seed time below 9:35. The top seed here is Faustine Chabache of SMU, who was in the lead towards the earlier portion of the race. She is in the number 6 position right now, still in with a shot, as the top 9 have broken away from the back 15.
So it's 4, a little bit open track, and then 5 to make up that front running 9. Again, Cosgrove in the lead with DBU's Salas in second, and Robertson from Gonzaga in the number 3 position in that lead group of 4.
And this may seem like a very specific critique, but they're not equidistant from another. It looks like the Gonzaga runner is a little bit closer. Island Robertson, it looked like she was just a little bit closer to the runner in front of her than anybody else in that top 4. And that means she's running confident. That means that she could potentially strike and be dangerous when she does so. 6:19 there through 2K.
5 laps remaining.
We
the
saw
mover right up. No, the
DBU coach, yeah.
The mover right now, Elisa Trapotin from Club 3D, has now made it 5 up front rather than 4. Can she maybe work her way up and break up this single file and move up on somebody's shoulder and really put some pressure on our leader? Right now, Leslie Salas from DBU.
And Ireland Robertson mounting the charge on her outside. There's that confidence that we observed before. She's still patient, though. Not going to make her move too soon. Just love to see the coaches giving them all their own words of wisdom. And also nice to see on the infield a couple of our 3K men warming up. Gary Martin just past my peripherals.
There are major conference players in this opening men's 3,000 race. Major speed in the mile. As you mentioned, Gary Martin.
Yep.
All the things he did at the high school level, and continuing a massive improvement in cross country.
Definitely.
He said all of a sudden, I'm a cross country guy. You know, he's a 10K guy. It's really interesting to me to sort of analyze that wrap around how he went from, a miler, major focus. Yes, he did okay in the 5K in high school, but now, just several years removed, he went out there and ran with the best of them at 10K in cross country.
Placing 13th at Nationals, was not the top ACC finisher, but was the ACC champion. And yesterday was named ACC Cross Country Performer of the Year for his efforts. So a great cross country season, and we're going to look to see where he's at there. But here with 2 laps to go.
Single file running the top 9. And there is that young lady, Trapotin from Club 3D. She has made the push all the way up into the number 2 spot, right behind Ireland Robertson from Gonzaga.
And don't forget about Chabache from SMU. She's in 3rd now, the highest placement she's been in quite some time. She's got her eyes on the top 2. Could they wear each other out and open the door for her? Or somebody else?
Coming up to the bell lap, 1 lap remaining. Our leaders could encounter some lap traffic. They're just about 10 meters behind. That runner moving up to the outside, doing the admirable thing and giving the inside run to these leaders. And it is Robertson and Trapotin. 1, 2, and now up into the number 3 spot. That's Sydney Patarka from Oregon State.
She snuck up out of nowhere.
It is going to be a 3-runner race to the finish. Partika from Oregon State going wide. Can she get to Robertson? Not going to be able to. She'll finish 2nd. Ireland Robertson with the win. in 9:28.36, under that 9:30 pace for 3K.
And all three ended up pushing themselves below that barrier, but wow, Sydney Partika came out of absolutely nowhere in that last lap. We hadn't called her name all race, and there she was. She had hung back. We mentioned at one point the top group was 9 at large, and that can open the door. As long as you're in that top group, even if you don't go to the very, very front, if you're in contention and you've got a kick, then you can factor. But that just goes to show the confidence that we mentioned earlier by Ireland Robertson to hang on. Nice double shot of the finishers and Ireland with her coach. Again, they traveled all the way from the great state of Washington for this season opening effort. Clearly worthwhile, Phil, as we've got only one heat left of the women's 3,000 meters before we shift gears to the men's side of things. Ireland Robertson, the winner of heat number 5,